had, or we've come in contact with some of the personnel we see and our NISS today. I'll just like to introduce them quickly to you before the main event starts. They are from the Nigerian Institute of Soil Science, and we're going to be hearing a lot from them today, such as the career prospects, why you think or why you should be involved in soil science, the importance of it as well, and the areas that are lacking, why you're needed to come and fill in the spots that are open. You know, it's an open ground for a lot of people, but people are not really conversant with it. So just put your mind to it, ask questions, and do your best to ensure you get the best you can get from them. Because who knows, you might find yourself in this prospect tomorrow, and everything you're going to hear here might be very useful for you. So put a round of applause for Nigerian Institute of Soil Science.
So I would like to invite my colleague, who will also be speaking to us briefly on the World Soil Day. Can we please welcome Mr. Abu?
Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to see your faces once again. I am here to speak to you people about World Soil Day. Just like my boss has said, we have Children's Day, we have different dates and different events. We are speaking about World Soil Day. World Soil Day takes place 5th of December every year. This date has a connection with the King of Thailand. We call him King Bomi Ball. That is his birthday, 5th of December. We talk about soil. We create awareness. We are supposed to create awareness about soil health, soil management of our soil resources. This place we are standing on now, underneath it, I know this is an upstairs, but like on the ground, there are so many microorganisms under the soil. These microorganisms have a lot of functions they do. We call it soil biodiversity. You know, we have earthworm, we have different things under the soil. There are some that are very microscopic. You cannot see it unless under the influence of a microscope. So, my dear people, this year's World Soil Day theme is soils where food begins. You can see it. You can see how that woman there is smiling because she has her maize, now, as in it gave a high productivity. You can see that cassava. You can see what is there from this picture. So, when a farmer goes to the field or goes to farm and at the end of the day produces high quality food, she smiles. She will have food. He or she will have food on the table. Then she can sell. They can eat very well. That is improving their health. Human health, human well-being is improved. Then there will be money in her pocket, in his or her pockets. This money in the pocket is what is bringing that smile you're seeing there. So, the essence of this, we are creating awareness on the need for us to improve soil health because it has a link to our own human health. When you eat very well, you will not fall sick. When you eat very well, like you people now, look at how you're radiating, looking fine, enjoying yourselves. Your lunch, that lunch you're eating is as a result of.
So we bring the greetings of our registrar, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Soil Science, Professor Victor Ochide, who is also the international president-elect of the International Union of Soil Science all over the world. This afternoon, without spending much time, we have PowerPoint projection, but I understand that there's no power now, because as we go on, let's hope that there will be power supply. We are from Nigeria Social Science, as I have said, and we are an agency of the federal government of Nigeria under the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. And we are saddled with the responsibility for regulating the profession of soil science and promoting soil quality management in Nigeria. When we talk about soil science, promoting the regulating profession of soil science, we are talking about soil scientists. I'm sure many of us are familiar with names like ICANN. You heard of ICANN? They regulate which profession? Accountant. We have the Institute for Medical Doctors that regulates medical and data personnel. We have CORE that regulates engineering personnel, engineers. So we regulate the people that we call soil scientists, and we also call them soil doctors. Those are people that we regulate, and beyond that, we are also saddled with the responsibility of managing soil. Managing the soil. Because soil, as we see, many of us are just looking at the soil. Soil, it takes over 1,000 years to form an inch of soil. Soil is not a resource that you can just increase at will. If I'm doing broilers, I'm sure we are familiar with chicken. We have broilers, we have layers, the one that lay egg, and then the one that grow fat so that you can eat it and carry the, what they call the lamb, big one. If you can decide to make 1,500, but soil, you cannot just increase at will. So the one that we have to manage it. Nigeria has boundaries, about over 900 and something kilometers square. That's the boundary. The soil, the land, you cannot increase that boundary as you like. Abuja has boundary. This school, as big as it is, has boundary. So you cannot increase it as you like. You have to manage it so that it can be productive for you. So the government set up the institute to manage the soil resources of Nigeria so that it can be productive for Nigerians and people that are here and for future generations to come. So this afternoon, we're going to be telling us a few things, and I would like us to pay attention, because after this our session, we're going to be asking some questions and then getting a response. I'll be taking note of people that have actually learned one or two things, and they also be rewarded. There will be rewards for such people as well. So I'd like you to pay attention so that you can also benefit from whatever is going to be. Beyond that, we're going to be requesting the school to give us some students that will participate at the World Soil Day with us. Some of you were around with us last year, and the same year, some of them were very active during the class like this last year that participated, and the same thing is going to happen this year as well. So after the teaching, after career. Okay, career is a profession. It's an occupation. It's a vocation. Trade. What you do, that's your career. And there are different careers that you can get yourself involved in. You can decide to be a medical doctor, you can involve in medicine. You can decide to be an engineer, you can involve in engineering. You can be an agriculturist, you can be an accountant. There are different areas that you can decide to specialize in. So that is career. And by now, for all of us in senior class, you should begin to have an idea of what you want to do. If you are necessary, you should have an idea of this is what I want to do. And that is your career. And that's your career. And we have different careers, like I've said, but every other career depends on agriculture, whether you like it or not. If you're a medical doctor, if you don't eat food, will you be able to attend to your patients? No. No matter what. Of course, we all need each other, but every man needs food. Very, very important. So agriculture is very, very important. And this agriculture, as important as it is, soil is the bedrock of agriculture. Most of the things that we do in agriculture depends on soil. In fact, you agree with me that even us, we came from soil. And at the end of the day, we are returning back to soil. So soil is the bedrock of agriculture. And we need agriculture. Agriculture is, the use of agriculture includes production of food and feeds and fiber, source of raw materials for industries. Agriculture and soil is important for environmental conservation and management. Soil serves as habitats for so many animals. You know, earthworms. The number of animals that is living inside soil is more than those that are on top of the soil. So many animals that we cannot see with our eyes. We call them microorganisms, microbes, and the ones that we can see with our eyes. So they are living, so many of them are there, and they are important. They have their responsibility, they have what they are doing for soil and then for plant production. Soil is used for water filtration. If they are processing water, they use soil. It's an habitat for, I've said that, habitat for natural resources. There are so many natural resources that you get from water, from soil. We call them, soil in biology. So many things that you get from it. It's an archive for human and plant history. It's for environmental preservation. Soil, because soil is sink, so many things go inside the soil. So soil is very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. And because of its importance, it must be well managed so that it can continue to be productive for us. Very, very important, especially for food. If you cannot remember any of the importance, you must remember the importance that's of food production, that's of environmental conservation. Very, very important for this. So because of the importance and because it needs to be managed, who are the people that can manage soil? We call them soil doctors. And these are soil scientists. Many people, they are not really aware of soil science. The first time I heard about soil science, I was in secondary school like you. I laughed, which one is soil science again? But eventually, I chose soil science as a career. So they are called soil scientists. They are called soil doctor. Somebody say, which one is soil doctor? Do you used to get sick? Yes. Yes. So we have people that treat soil. And the soil scientist is one that studies soil. He understands soil formation, how soil is formed. He understands soil uses, what you use different types of soil for. Different types of soil. You know, in elementary agric, we tell you we have 3 types of soil, isn't it? Can somebody tell me the 3 types of soil? Sandy soil, loamy soil, and clay soil. When you become a soil scientist, you know that it is even more than that. And each soil has what it can be used for, has its importance, has different crops that you can grow in it. And then some soil that are having challenge, having problem, how you can manage it. So those are soil science. They understand soil uses, they understand soil and plant relationship, fertilizer application, management, diagnosis of soil. They understand climate change interaction. I'm sure many of us will be familiar with what we call climate change. Climate change. The weather is changing. It's too much heat, too much water. You know, no water presently flood. It's part of climate change. Heat, climate change. A soil scientist understands how climate change affects soil and then how it affects food production and how it can be mitigated. So a soil scientist understands all these things. He understands soil capacity. It's not every soil that you can use for all purposes. There's some soil you cannot use them to do building. You cannot put structure on them. So a soil scientist knows the bulk density, they know the capacity of soil. He studies soil. He understands soil fertility and management. So you can see that the work of a soil scientist is not just a mere mouth, it's a whole lot. Because it's a whole lot that is involved, in soil management. You cannot afford to destroy the soil. If you destroy the soil, there's going to be a suffering. There are some nations that have gone down because of poor attention to soil. So it's important. Soil scientists, I wish the presentation can come on and then you'll be able to see some of the pictorial distance, like not be like a theory. You see soil scientists in the laboratory and different areas. We have some leaflets that talk about career in soil science. My colleagues, can we please distribute some of those leaflets that talk about it? So if I become a soil scientist, assuming I say, okay, I want to study soil science, as we are talking about, where can I work? Where can I work? You can work in research institutions as researchers. There's still a whole lot of need for soil scientists all over the world. They are still in need, they are not in adequate quantity. You still need a whole lot of soil scientists doing research about soil. There's something we are talking about soil and crop specific fertilizer. We want to know which fertilizer is good for a particular soil. There are some people that have to do that. We call them researchers. So you can work as a researcher at local and international level. You can work in oil and gas industry. It's not only engineers that work in oil company. Soil scientists work there. There's something we call remediation. There are some soil, there are some farms that oil spills and destroy them, and they cannot use them for farming again. So does that mean that people there will be going hungry? No. A soil scientist goes there, studies the nature of the farm, of the soil, of the pollution, and look at what can be used to address that so that the soil can be productive. So soil scientists work in oil companies, they work in fertilizer companies and agrochemical industries. They work in universities and other institutions. They are professors. In fact, currently we have almost 7 or 8 vice chancellors of universities who are soil scientists. Footsmina, yeah? We have them. University of Nigeria, Asuka, Federal University of Technology, Owerri, University of Abuja, Federal University of Owerri, Bowen University. We have them. They are soil scientists. So as a soil scientist, can become a vice chancellor. They work in a farm, crop-based farm, and it's big. They will request for soil test and soil analysis. And it's a soil scientist that can tell them. Someone can just say this soil has pH of 5.7. If someone say 5.7 for science students, what does that mean? You say there's pH 5. If you know it, just put it down. Okay. It's acidic. Can we put the hands together for you? It's acidic. So what is the implication of that? Soil is acidic. What's the implication? A soil scientist knows the implication and what to do. A soil that is acidic, that is so acidic, cannot be used effectively for crop production. And then the soil that has too much, that has high alkalinity level, cannot also be used. So it must be managed. When it has too much acid, we use lime to correct it. You have it in your basic chemistry. Some of the things that you are being taught now, don't throw them away. They are going to be useful for you in your profession. Even if you don't study soil science, whatever science field that you find yourself, you will need them. So when there's too much acid, what do you use? Use lime. When there's so much alkalinity, we use objects like what God gives on and some other things. So soil scientists know they are involved in all this management. So in banking and finance, when someone has done soil analysis, the soil scientists will interpret it and let them know that no, if you give this person money, this kind of soil that he has there, he cannot pay back your loan. So we have to do something about it. As I begin to round off, you can involve in politics and leadership. The current deputy governor of Imo State is of Cross River State. He's a soil scientist. So you can go into any field. There's no limits to what you can become. No limits. You are involved in military and armed forces. You want to be a military man. The current director of Nigerian Army Farms is a soil scientist. So you can be in those areas. You can be involved in agricultural industries. You can go to all manner of things. You can be involved in construction companies. You are needed. You need to take the strength of the soil capacity. International, then so that food and agriculture organization of the world. You are as a consultant in the federal agencies like us or state agencies. You can have your own private laboratory. You can be a consultant. So there's no limit to where you can be your relevance, as a soil scientist. So we want to encourage as many of us that we have not probably heard about this or don't have full understanding of this to take it as a career. So in case I want to be a soil scientist, what do I need to study? What do I need to do at my secondary school? Which subjects do I need to pay attention? Of course, your mathematics, your English, physics, chemistry, biology, agricultural science. These are the basic requirements for studies, for consideration if you want to get admission to study soil science in the university. Either for JAM, NECO, and if you want to study outside the country, like I know many of you will desire to, there are soil science, all over the world. All over the world. Currently, our registrars to CEO were just elected as the president, international president of International Union of Soil Science all over the world that has so many countries. And this is the first time in 98 years of that body that an African got to that position. So there's prospects for us if we are desiring to be a soil scientist. So I would like to stop here before we go to the next one. And we're going to be talking about the World Soil Day. As we have a day, Children's Day, Workers' Day, Guest Child Day, different day, Teachers' Day. We have what we call the World Soil Day also.
Soil science as what? As a career, as a profession. I know there are a lot of things by now. I know we have started making a lot of curiosity about what do I need to do to become a soil scientist or a soil doctor. Even if I become a soil doctor, what are the other prospects that are there for them? I know there are a lot of questions that will be going on in our mind, in our brain. Is it even possible for me to take it as a career? Do you think it's even a profitable career in Nigeria or outside the country? I know you have all these questions. So we'll open the floor for us to have questions and answers. And I want you to give me a what and orderly so that all of us we can do what? We can learn. When somebody has questions and we all listen, when asking, also they will have the same question you want to ask. So by listening, you might have one way or the other have the answer to your question. So please, I want us to simplify for those of us that have one or two things to ask, clarity, comments, or anything you want, and based on those presentations and also the work. Please, can we simplify for those of us that have questions? One. So that the topic is one. So you just know.
I don't want to enter my camera. Signify. Ask questions so that we do it.
Questions.
One here. Who should ask question? You are still doing your madam too.
Before you ask, now you will look into your name and your class. And others also know.
I think you're wrong. Sure.
Did you hear her? No. You have malaria, and then you are going to be given a proper prescription. And you see that immediately you take that medicine, you'll be okay. The same way. The same way a soil doctor does. If he goes to the field, there are some symptoms he will say. He will to let know that this soil is either healthy or what is sick. But to be so sure of what's actually the problem with that particular soil, then you have to carry out what we call soil testing. And when you do that soil testing, the same way you take some soil samples. There's a way we have been trained to take those soil samples. After taking those soil samples, you properly label it, package it, and you send it to the laboratory. Now, that's one aspect. I know during the prospects that my colleagues have mentioned, because soil science is a big profession where you have a lot of fields where you can specialize. You can specialize as a soil chemist, or soil biologist, soil microbiologist. The same way you can talk about medicine now, you talk about somebody is an optician. Who can tell you who an optician is? Eye doctor. You can talk about somebody that is a gynecologist. That is somebody that deals with women and child. That is the same way you have in soil. So you have a soil microbiologist, you have soil chemist. So it is the work of the soil chemist now to work on those samples that have been taken, and you're now able to analyze that actually this soil is what? Healthy, or this soil is what? Sick. So if the soil is sick, then we now prescribe what you need to do, the way you do for normal thing. So you are not a trained soil doctor, but can you still do that one at home? Yes. We have what we call the soil tube box. What do I call it?
Soil tube.
The soil test kit box. It's a kit box where we normally use to take samples for places like home or small school gardens or probably on the field, but it's a very small place. People are looking like 1 hectare of land. We're not talking about big farm where we have 50 hectares, 100 hectares. For you to be able to take the soil samples here and there, but that will be the size of the land will tell us the type of soil samples you are going to take. So it will be much more easier for you to manage a very small land, which is about 1 hectare, and use this soil testing box to do what? To do the analysis. So you can do that. But it's not that you just go to the store, you pick it. It's not something you pick like that. You have to be do what? You have to be trained a little bit. And there are some of them, they have instructions. Like if you buy a new radio now, they will tell you, before you call it the manual, or the user-friendly manual. You tell you, put the battery like this, put this, you can do that. And with that one, you can take the soil test. And then with that one, with a little bit of explanation. Because some of them come with what we call instructions. If you carry out this test, and you give you this color, Or probably carry out this, they give you this pH, then this is the problem and may be wrong with what? With your soil. So with that one, they will also tell you what kind of things you need to do what? To amend that soil for it. And if the soil is healthy, that means it's okay. So the only thing is now for you to do what? To maintain that soil so that that soil will not be degraded. Did that answer your question? So number 2, can you introduce yourself and give us?
My name is
Bill.
Sorry?
Sorry, the other way again.
Joanne Ayanjo. Okay.
I'm from C3, and my question is, soil science accredited in all universities in Abuja?
Good. Our question was, is soil science an accredited course? Yes. And it was made literally about Federal University of Abuja. Maybe because that one's closer to you. Maybe Abuja is where you have interest, what to go to. Fine. Now, we have federal universities of agriculture across the federation. We also have federal universities that offer soil science as a course under the Faculty of Agriculture. So, as of today, most of the institutions, I'm talking about federal universities, state universities, that offer soil science as a course, have those courses as accredited courses. So the fear of, oh, I find myself in after spending 4 years, or after That's a very good question. How do we manage so that we don't have conflict? There is need to have industrialization. You all agree with me.
Yeah.
There's no world or there's no country that wants to be self-sufficiency without industrialization. And there's no country that will also be food security without managing the soil. So how do you do the two? And we won't have what confliction. There's bound to be conflictions at times. But the profession, we find ourselves as a soil scientist. That's why we say we can work in all facets of life. Now, you can imagine, the association, or probably less than, I want to give an instance, like Julius Berger. Everybody knows Julius Berger. It's a very big company in this country that when it comes to construction of roads, bridges, whatever. Now, do you know that as the main thing we know Julius Berger for is what? The construct roads. But do you know they also have soil scientists? Because you remember when my colleagues were trying to educate us, they were telling us we need soil scientists in some areas. For example, if there are not all soils that we have can be good for road construction. There are some way you construct the road you will have been seeing the practical aspect of it. Within 4 months, 5 months, you see potholes, gullies at the middle of the road. I don't know whether you have seen that. And it's a new road. It's because property was not done at the right time. And probably the soils, that type of people that did that one, they did not carry out what? The soil scientists. Because the soil scientists will have carried out the soil test, know whether this soil can withstand what? The load you are trying to put on that one for that construction. If it is, fine. If it is not, then they will know what and what they will use. Maybe they will not use heavy materials that will be able to still do the same thing and will not what? Cause a lot of pressure on the soil. We have been so lucky in this country. We were in some developed countries like US, they said they have earthquake. You have been hearing about it, or landslides. What causes landslides? What causes earthquake? It is a lot of pressure on the soil. And when that was done is when what the question you ask, where you suppose where there's confliction, we are not using the right people and you are doing construction of big structure on the soil that cannot accommodate that kind of pressure. The soil also is alive because immediately that thing happens, if we also try to adjust, we call it adjust, that adjustment is what we call soil movement, and that's what causes earthquake or what causes blast, like, and you see the whole place is done and everything that goes there, what goes down with it. Now, when the writing is done, the soil scientists, like you said, are involved. Then there won't be conviction. They will tell you this particular soil, yes, I don't think we can use this place for construction. I think it would be good for us to use it or to manage it for what? For agriculture. If it's the one for agriculture, they will tell you, oh, this is place, I think for future generation, if you build roads here, then that means the little land, arable land, that my colleague mentioned that is very small. So we have to really do what? Conserve it and really make use of it, maximize it, and at the same time protect it. And it is the way it is being fragmented every blessed day. Because the way you are doing construction industrialization, you are fragmenting all those small companies that are left for us to do what? To grow our crops. So you cannot imagine. So if the needful has been done, and the soil scientist is among those things, we will tell them, look, this place, let's leave it for the next generation. So there won't be any dark conflict. So you can have industrialization, and you can also have food security, and there won't be any conflict. That's number 3, right? Yeah. Number 4? Yeah.
My name is Angelica Children. So how much they give? Like how is their monthly earning? How is their income?
Yeah, the question.
I did.
As
do you hear a question? She wants to know if you're a soil scientist or you find yourself in the soil science, and I cannot tell you it's 5 million. Do you know why I will not tell you specific amount? Because even as a medical doctor, let me just bring that one. As a medical doctor, everybody, oh, I want to be a medical doctor, I want to be. There are some medical doctors, they earn 50,000, 60,000. And there's also a medical doctor that earns 500,000, 400,000. Do you agree with me? Yeah, so the same way I will answer that question. Because 50,000, it just depends on where do you work. And at the same time, how relevant and how important you are. Now, when my colleagues was giving, it's because we don't have the PowerPoint presentation. We told you that soil science is a profession and you can choose any of the fields, either as a soil chemist, either as a soil microbiologist. Now, for someone that is a soil microbiologist and find himself working in Shell Oil Company, you cannot compare that same the salary that person will earn with somebody that is in as a professor. You understand? For all what I know is this: any of the area, any of the fields of soil science that you find yourself, and you are really good at what you know how to do best, I bet you money will not be a problem. Money will not be a problem. And when I say money is not your problem, you know what I mean. You can earn 1 million, depending on where you find yourself. You can earn 2.5. I know people that earn 2.5. I know those people that are consultants, and they heard of that. I'm a consultant, and I know at times when I do work, I know what I hear. My colleague is a consultant. We know when we, apart from being a staff of the ministry, we are also a consultant. We have international organizations. We are talking about FAO. We are talking about IUSS. We are talking about NISS. Talk of them. Soil scientists are kind of profession that they are needed anywhere in the world. Maybe probably you can go ahead and do a little bit, even in ICT. I hope you hear when this big of that one was talking, they say it's an ICT division. Yeah. It's in some of it, we have what we call tools, ICT tools. When you are talking about a country, they do soil mapping. Even for someone that wants to do soil mapping, you cannot, maybe probably, if federal government is going to consult that person as a soil scientist to come and do soil mapping, you may not pay more than 10 to 15 million naira. Yes. And you too will also employ a lot of people, but it's not something you can do alone. That's one aspect I'm talking about. If you are a soil chemist and you have a laboratory, you know how many soil samples when Julius Bella wants to do this and you bring about 15 or 40 or 100 samples, and when one sample is about 50, nobody, and they know they don't have the capability to fund it. Definitely they have to go to what? To the bank. To look for what? Look. Such kind of person can never get that loan if the soil scientist do not guarantee that person. Because that soil scientist that has been employed in that bank, we have to go, they take soil sample of that place, or probably we consult the owner of that farm consults the registered soil scientist, then we call them RSS. Yes, I do. Because they are what? Their profession. It's not somebody can just come around and claim.
I'd like to appreciate us for our time, and I believe that we have gotten one or two information this afternoon. Nobody that has paid attention can completely say, I don't know anything about soil science or about soil. I'm sure some of us are hearing something for the first time, but we are not undermining or directing how far this information can go. You have your parents that want to do big agriculture, big farming, you can tell them that for you to make profit, make successful, you must do soil tests. And in case you need any information about soil, anything about soil in Nigeria, please you can consult our institute, www.gov.ng, and we are here in Abuja. So as we round off, like I said, we are expecting some of you at the World Soil Day. There is going to be a debate competition. There will be a debate competition, and the school here is expected to participate in it. The topic for the debate is a nation that destroys its soil, destroys itself. A nation that destroys its soil, destroys itself. So we're going to expect people that will contribute, that will participate in that competition. The school management, our uncles and aunties, they will tell us who and who. We also have a poster competition. We can draw something based on the theme of World Soil Day. Yes, we also be relevant on this. So as we round off, I'd like to appreciate the management of the school for this privilege that we have been given to come and inform us about soil science today. And I know that we have also learned what it is. There's some of us that give, ask questions, answer. I would like to give you a token, maybe just a token from the institute. I have the names. This I didn't know Joel. Okay. Joanne, okay. Like I said, it's a token, but Pendel, she has gone out. And then Angelica Chime. And then my friend answer the question.
What's going on? Hey, you see three, what's going on?
My name is Sensitization.
What did you gain from the lecture today?
What I gained is that I learned about soil and how it's important to us.
What is soil? How do you define soil?
And how I define soil is that it's the almost top layer of the earth, which houses natural resources which we use to our own benefit. It can be used to natural resources like food, vegetation, some things like that, and also some others which are used in our society.
So obviously you added some value to yourself regarding soil science today. Your spectrum was broadened, right? What do you have to say about World Soil Day? What is World Soil Day about?
It's about how we learn. It's about how we learn about the soil.
Celebrate soil worldwide.
It's important.
And the importance of soil. When is the date for World Soil Day?
5th of December 2022.
And what's the theme for World Soil Day?
Soil where food begins.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Sir, thank you so much. Is there any question? You know you and your class.
My name is Angelica Chile. I'm in UC1, SS1.
What do you understand by soil or soil science broadly?
To me, soil science is basically the science in like how to preserve soil and conserve it for future use.
What are the probable subjects that would qualify for students who want to go into university and want to study soil science? What are the possible subjects that they must pass successfully?
Biology, chemistry, English, agriculture, and physics must.
One of the functions or importance of World Soil Day, which is coming up very soon, is to create awareness. Why do you think World Soil Day is necessary?
like you said, to create awareness also, and to show the importance of how the soil is not like the way it's being seen as nothing. So yeah.
What's the theme for this World Soil Day?
Soil where food begins.
What's your advice to people who abuse soil and take soil for granted? What's your advice? Do you think there is a basis for soil management? Do you think there is a basis for soil preservation?
They shouldn't really take soil for granted. If not, like as a wise person once said, without when a country abuses the soil, the country will definitely fall down. So without soil, there will be no food or major industrial activity. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Angela.
My name is Matilda Winchester and I'm in C3.
Okay. Based on the lecture you had a few minutes ago, what do you have to say generally about soil and soil science and the essence of soil in Nigeria and worldwide?
I think soil is very good because it helps people to be able to understand how to make better use of their soil. It also gives awareness for people like all the soil erosion to prevent it and so many things like.
So recently, the flood that's happened in over 7 states in Nigeria, what do you have to say about that? And bringing it back to World Soil Day that is happening very soon, how do you think they can get more awareness and more information about soil management?
I think maybe they need the organizations maybe to teach them on the importance of the soil, because I think they mismanage their soil, maybe it was sick or something. So I feel that the soil erosion, because soil erosion is a natural thing, basically cause. I think maybe they misused it. That was what happened, that the flood came down wiped away. But I think they should, yes, they need the importance of soil.
What's the theme for World Soil Day for this year?
So, where food begins.
In few seconds, how can you break that down? Soil, where food begins. Is that true?
Yes, because soil is where food begins. We grow food, seeds, everything from the soil. So that's where food begins. Agriculture starts from the soil. Without soil, nothing is possible. You cannot be able to eat, and you will not eat without hunger.
Thank you so much, Oyinyechi.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, darling.
Angelica from UC2.
Okay. What did you gain from the lecture today?
Well, I learned a lot. I learned how to reduce the acidity and the alkalinity of the soil.
Break it down. Acidity and alkalinity. What do you understand, or what do you mean by that?
I mean, like acidity. For example, they told us that you can use lime to reduce the acidity of the soil. I know all these things are very important because if you don't know all these things, your soil, your food can become, spoiled or damaged. Alkalinity, I won't say I really got what they said because I wanted to ask a question. It was not available, I could not answer it, which I will after the presentation. But alkalinity, they said that we used a material called disintegrative, but I'm not really sure.
Okay, so what do you know about World Soil Day coming up?
World Soil Day.
What is the date, project?
World Soil Day begins December 5th, 2022.
What's the theme for this year?
Soil, where food begins.
What do you have to say about that? Is that true?
Yes.
Or it's just a fallacy?
Yes, it's obviously true because without soil, obviously we cannot grow plants, which we eat plants, crops, which we eat every single day. That's basically what we use for our survival.
So what's your advice to people out there who tend to abuse soil one way or the other? What's your little advice to them?
Well, I feel like you guys should really know the importance of soil and try to learn how to use your soil very well because it's one of the most important things on this earth.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Soil is the bedrock of excellence. It's where agriculture starts from. And then without soil, agriculture cannot take place.
Wow, interesting. Have you heard about soil management before?
Yes.
What do you understand by soil management?
Like you have to manage the soil because if you don't manage, the soil can get sick. It can cause
the soil can get sick.
Yes.
Break it down.
Like it can get ill, and then you need a soil scientist or soil doctor to come and interpret which type of sickness it has, so that you can give you can prescribe chemicals or methods you can use to make your soil be well.
Are you looking forward to World Soil Day this year?
Yes, I am.
When is the date?
On the 5th of December 2022.
Basically, what's it about?
Like it's about awareness of the soil science. Tell people over the world that manage your soil soil is like the bedrock of agriculture. Without agriculture, we cannot survive, and we have to manage the soil in order to.
That brings me to the theme for World Soil Day. What's the theme for this year?
Soil where food begins.
What do you have to say about that? Is that true?
Yes, it is.
How? Why?
Because agriculture starts from the soil, and farmers plant on the soil so that plants can grow, and then we consume it in order to survive. Without soil, really there's no life on earth, because it's the soil that's like the main source of water.
And obviously there will be no food security.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Farida. I'm a student of Britarch schools. I'm in SS2. World Soil Day is on the 5th of December 2022. The theme is Soils Where Food Begins. I'll be there and I'm waiting to see you.
Soil where food begins.